A title reads, Self-Awareness, Values and Beliefs. Text appears over a blurred background image of the Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Life experiences, social and cultural norms, and what we are taught by school, our families, and even by our friends shape our beliefs. Over time, long-held beliefs become our values, influencing our attitudes and behaviors. In this video, individuals discuss their beliefs related to blindness and low vision, how they developed those beliefs and values, and how those beliefs and values affect their lives.
A still photo of the face of a young Caucasian woman in her home.
My name is Ashley Pryor, and I am at Texas Women's University, and I study social work. I think that it's like really important to have like self-love and self-belief, and I think that's like whether you're sighted or visually impaired, I think that's really important to believe in yourself and what like your goals are, and I think that is like a value really like deep within myself. So like figure out your goal, and then like your vision comes after that, because you're gonna have like a lot of challenges that come within your visual impairment. So I think that's like one value of mine is like self-determination and like self-love.
A young Latino male speaks to the camera from his office.
I am Gabe Casares. I'm the director of the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities. I grew up in Houston, Texas. A lot of it, I think, was the way that I was raised. Being a young adult now, I've had an opportunity to work with blind kids, and I've seen where a lot of families kind of do overprotect the kids. You know, they want to make sure that the kid doesn't get hurt, that nothing happens to the child. But I think letting a blind kid be a kid is really important, and I'm really grateful that my mom and dad really pushed us. I mean, if my cousins were climbing trees, we were climbing trees. If we were playing soccer or basketball and things of that nature, we didn't know we didn't know what modifications were growing up, but we did those things. You know, we made sure that we filled the ball with rice and things like that, so we could participate and really be part of what was going on. And I think that really helped me understand that, yeah, I might have to do things a little bit differently than most people do them.
A still photo of the face of a blind Caucasian woman in her home.
I'm Norma Crosby, president of the National Federation of the Blind of Texas. My primary belief about blindness is that it is respectable to be blind. Blindness is not a flaw. We are not broken sighted people. We're blind, and that's okay. That's my primary value when it surrounding blindness. I think my journey took me to the space where I feel that way is that I developed a really strong community of blind friends. I have sighted friends as well, and I'm not saying that blind people should put themselves in a box and only have friends who are blind, but I do think it's critical and important to have that network of people that you can go to when you are struggling, because you know what, even people who are confident and competent, things come along that cause us to struggle too, to think, I belong to the National Federation of the Blind, and we have a strong philosophy about blindness. And sometimes I wonder, am I living that philosophy, or am I being too hard on myself about something? Which sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm expecting something of myself that I shouldn't. And that network of blind people helps me to have a reality check sometimes.
A young Hispanic woman speaks to the camera from her home.
My name's Adeline Granger. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and cosmetology educator. Experiences have shaped how I see the world as well, whether they be experience that I had while in a blind school or just experiences with my own family. So every unique person that I've came across with their own struggles, it's opened up my worldview.
A young Mexican man speaks to the camera from his home.
I am Salvador Villa, but I go by Sal. I am a 21-year-old college student at ACC, waiting to transfer to the University of Texas here at Austin. It's like anything. You have to develop yourself and have your own self-values before you bring the blindness into the picture, right? Because the blindness is just a piece of you. It's not who you really are, right? It just happens to be that you're blind. Like some people don't have a finger or some people don't have an arm. It's the same thing. But they still live life. They still are people with personalities that have likes and dislikes and hobbies and stuff. So you have to figure yourself out as a person. And as you do that, the values and beliefs you have towards blindness slowly piece themselves into your life to the point where you know that you're blind, but you don't think about it because you go about life in a way that it doesn't interfere with it, since you know who you are as a person.
A young Black visually impaired woman speaks to the camera from her home.
My name is Demetria Ober. I am 21 years old now, and I go to school at Texas Women's University. I was raised to believe in myself and to be confident in myself, and this is before I even found out that I had any sort of disability. So definitely, I never want to use my disability as an excuse or also kind of like a block to where I want to go. And a lot of that comes from like my faith and the teachings that I grew up on. It's just that everything happens for a reason and there's a plan and a purpose for everything. So yes, this is something that does cause some sort of, I don't even want to use the word like hindrance, more of so like this is something that I have to work around and have accommodations for, but it's definitely not something that needs to stop me or is going to stop me. And that's just kind of how I look at things now. It wasn't always like that, but definitely today, that's how I choose to view it.
Ashley Pryor speaking.
There's going to be things that come, and it comes like probably every week, that either I get like a discriminated against with like my guide dog, with like Ubers or whatnot. And so are you going to like stay like negative about it? Or are you going to keep pushing for like yourself, but also other people that are visually impaired too, to like keep making a change, and keep fighting for like what's right. And so I think a value is like stay positive.
Gabe Caceres speaking.
The way that I do things is normal to me, but that I would have to do things differently than other people do is okay. And really that experience growing up and then meeting blind mentors that really challenged me. I was kind of a lazy kid in school. I got by just fine, but no one had really challenged me. And when I met these blind mentors, they were people that really challenged me, not just to do well enough to get by. And so those have been, I think, really impactful things that have helped me develop my value around blindness.
Norma Crosby speaking.
Whether you belong to an organization or not, you have a philosophy of blindness. It's just really a question of what is it? And who do you go to when you have those questions? And sighted friends can certainly be a support system for you. But for me, being part of an organization, helping to pay it forward to other blind people, and still at the same time, not just paying it forward, but I get something every day from being part of that organization. And the primary thing I've gotten are those values that I just told you about, that it's respectable to be blind and that blind people can compete on terms of equality with our sighted peers.
Adeline Granger speaking.
Visual impairment isn't all of me, but it certainly inspired and was a culprit to how I see the world today, not just literally, but metaphorically. So I definitely chose my career and now my major out of a need for wanting to help people.
Salvador Villa speaking.
You have to find little things that define you and go from there where you find value. You also have to find hobbies that add value to you.
Ashley Pryor speaking.
So I think hard work, self-love, self-determination, and stay positive. And also we all know that you're going to have hard days and things are going to come at you hard. And I think that's what makes you stronger. And so looking at it in a light of make your hardships build you up and live off of your hardships and acknowledge of what you've been through. And that's what's continuing to push you on.
Norma Crosby speaking.
Some people I know have told me a cane is an instrument of dependence. And I say, absolutely not. It's a tool of independence. That is definitely a part of my philosophy. I can take my cane and go anywhere I want to go and do whatever I want to do at any time that I want to do it. And one thing I strongly recommend, because independence is a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But a speech that a man named Kenneth Jernigan, who's one of the Federation leaders from the 20th century, made, is a speech called The Nature of Independence. And I think that speech really helps me more than any other to develop what my values are and what my philosophy about blindness is. It doesn't express that we always have to be perfect blind people. It doesn't express that we never accept help. It really expresses what I just said, that if you can go and do what you want to do, when you want to do it on your own terms, then you're an independent blind person. And I think that's really my philosophy.
Text appears over a blurred background image of the Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Our values and what we believe can affect how we live. As we reflect on how we were raised, our own culture, personal experiences, and attitudes, we become more aware of what we value and how our beliefs affect the choices we make. Think about your beliefs about blindness or low vision and consider choices you have made because of those beliefs.
A title reads, Self-Awareness, Values and Beliefs. Screen fades to black.